Excited to have you all here with us today. We're going to go over a bunch of wonderful things that are happening in the Market Center. They're happening for Keller Williams worldwide, but most importantly, we're here to help you all get bigger, faster, and stronger in your business. And this week, we continue our Know Your Shift series with our sixth tactic for successfully navigating a shift, which we're in a shift. And that's going to be catching people in your web digital lead conversion. So we have one of the most prominent people on social media and in the real estate universe, Shoshana Socher, going to talk to us about how she dominates the digital space for lead generation and lead conversion. And so that'll be at the top of the hour. Let's dive in. We're going to start this week, as we start every week, with a deep dive into one of our beliefs in our belief system for a company. So these are known as the Y4C2Ts, affectionately known as the Y4C2Ts. And this week, I think it is important for us to just kick the tires on commitment. So as we talk about this digital lead conversion, you're going to hear Shoshana talk about web presence. She's going to talk about being internet ready and Google ready. It's a very good conversation. There's a lot of things to consider. One of the things that she's going to share out with you at the end is a 66-day challenge. Now, if you've read The One Thing, which I don't know where my copy is, it's not within arm's reach. If you've read The One Thing, there's a section that talks about habit formation, and that there's the average number of days that it takes to form a new habit or to adopt a new habit. And the calculus and the studies from all the big brains somewhere at an Ivy League school have determined that it's 66 days. And so when we set out to do something differently, like maybe it's increase our web presence or stand up a new lead generation funnel, new lead generation pillar through web presence and digital leads, commitment's going to be really important. And so if you want to build a web presence, you want to get more people to follow your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok, you got to post every day. You got to be there every day. You got to be doing something every single day. And if you do it a couple times and you don't get a result and then you stop, that's not commitment. That's what everybody else does. And so, there's you can put a lot of distance between yourself and your former self, or yourself and your competition, however you want to look at it, if commitment is at the forefront of your strategies. So keep that in mind as you hear Shoshana talk about things, because there's a lot of super sexy things related to being online, being in front of people, having a strong social presence, but without the commitment, it's a flash in the pan. Without the follow-up, flash in the pan. All right. Big thank you to everyone who sent friends, family, former colleagues, coworkers, whoever it was, into the mix last night for our career night in Pepper Pike. We had about a dozen or more people in the room. It was a great session. All of my jokes landed. I think everyone was really compelled about the organization as well, but the laughter was really the big win. No, I'm kidding. We had a great turnout. We had a great conversation, a lot of really strong and talented future realtors in the room. And so appreciate everyone's continuous support there. We have our next one coming up on August 29th in the Rocky River office. So West Siders, get ready to get in the room. Look, we had Art and Cliff and Deneen in the room last night as agents. We're always happy and excited to have agents in the room. They help echo some of the points that we make. They provide some reality for the folks in the room of what is actually taking place. So thrilled to have that support. Thank you all. And there's the slide for the 29th in Rocky River. All right, so upcoming training, what do we have on the horizon? Well, tomorrow, now that we've wrapped up an awesome Ignite session, and guys, if you missed Ignite, if you missed some of the sessions, if you're wondering what the hell Ignite is, That's okay. Go onto our YouTube channel, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Training, and check out the Ignite series that took place through the last 2 weeks. Now that is wrapped up, we are going to return to our weekly Wednesday installments of Training Intent. And so this will be a 10-minute snippet that we'll post Wednesday mornings that'll hit at the heart of an issue in the market, a tactic or opportunity for implementation in your business, as just a midweek pick-me-up in getting more deals done. On August 30th here in the land, one of the most prolific Keller Williams agents and leaders, James Shaw, is going to be doing a full-day workshop on succeeding in any market. It is the Shift workshop, and it is going to be an MBA level deep dive into everything that we've been hitting on for the last 5 weeks and for the next 6 weeks. If you are at any stage or age in this business, this is going to be a powerful workshop. Some of you might recognize James as the person who put together the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group right at the start of the pandemic, which now has something like 40,000 members. It's one of the largest Facebook groups in the history of the internet. And he leads a call every day at 8 a.m. There is no one who, short of maybe Gary himself, who has a higher degree of mastery when it comes to Shift, the materials in the book Shift, winning in a shifting market, and leadership. And so we actually, so that session is going to be in Independence on August 30th. We're going to drop the link in the chat. I'm going to play a video from James where he talks a little bit about that.
Hello, Keller Williams. It's your friend James Shaw. I trust you're doing all right and excited to chat with you. You know, over the last 15 years, I've been with Keller Williams, serving as an agent, as a team leader of a market center, a bold coach, and KWU master faculty. And now I run the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. I'll tell you, I've met agents who have mastered winning in every market. And that's what we're going to talk about in the Shift workshop and mastermind that's coming up for you. You know, a shift is an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to move your business forward. The challenge is that 85% of members of the National Association of Realtors have never experienced a shift. They don't know what's to come, but there are lessons from the past, and we can take those lessons to the past and bring them to the present to help us win. So think about it right now in your business. What are some of the biggest challenges that you're having? Is it finding the right number of leads, right? Is it taking more people to get the same amount of business? Is it pricing property right now and helping your sellers understand in today's market what homes actually sell for after we've come out of this 2 years of wild? Is it buyer urgency? Do you have buyers sitting there and going, we're going to wait for prices to drop and market to crash, which none of that's going to happen, but they're lacking perspective on it. The increased interest rate has them freaked out a little bit. Is it keeping transactions together, right? 20% of deals are falling apart right now due to various reasons, buyer remorse, transaction stuff, appraisal, who knows? Thing is that we've done all this before. Maybe you haven't, but it's been done before, and we can learn from each other to help us win. That's what the Shift Workshop and Mastermind is all about. We will spend some time together first getting perspective around what causes a market to shift. What are some things we should pay attention to? What are some warning signs so that we're prepared? We'll talk a little bit about how to make sure you spend your day in the right way to maximize your opportunity. And then we'll spend the afternoon focused on the 2 or 3 urgent challenges you're facing in your business right now. We'll come up with solutions that you can use to implement, strategies that will help you move forward, and tools that will help you win. That's what it's all about. We'll use this book, the Shift book that Gary and Jay and Dave wrote, as our guide and collaborate together on strategies so that you can thrive in any market. So I hope to see you there. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So again, the link is in the chat. If you want more information about that, please let me know. It's going to be a great opportunity and a can't miss. This guy is in the highest of high demands right now. And then on tomorrow, Wednesday, August 17th, If you have joined the industry in the last 12 months, if you've only done a few deals, if it's been a while since you've done a deal, if you've been, flying by the seat of your pants and willy-nilly on who does your mortgage and who does your title, these are all, you are the type of person who should be in the room and be scarfing down some free lunch while we talk about navigating the transaction and ensuring that you understand, one, what are your major checkpoints? What's the magic six? How do you get from start to finish with a win every single time you get something under contract? Remember, deals are going to be a lot more valuable as we move through this shift. So the ones that we get under, we need to get closed. Secondly, there's an opportunity in your systems for you to have points of leverage or points of contact or points of collaboration with your preferred warranty partner, your preferred title company, and your preferred mortgage company, which are America's Preferred Home Warranty, GM Title and Escrow, and Cross Country Mortgage, respectively. So if anyone and everyone is welcome, please take advantage of this. A great role-playing case study course that will be tomorrow noon in the Pepper Pike office. Next Monday at 10 a.m. in our Pepper Pike office, we will have 1 hour of elective CE provided by Win Home Inspections. They'll be breaking down everything and anything you need to know about home inspections and what's changing in that environment, and you score a free hour of CE for it. And then this Thursday at 11 a.m., our Money Matter Mastermind is going to involve a deep dive into various life insurance, IRA, and investment vehicles through our partner at New York Life, Lisa Ina. So she'll be walking through, for those of you who are making money or made money hand over fist during this last wild market, you need to put it somewhere that's going to secure your long-term viability. And she's going to talk about some of those, how some of those vehicles work, where they exist, and how you can access them. All right. And then finally, our feature presentation for the month, our feature class will be 2 p.m. Pepper Pike on August 25th. Referrals, reviews, and repeat business as we move into the shift, as we look out over the horizon and see that there is going to be a lot of opportunity generated through impacts to the economy through the economic recession, and other things that will change the lives of the people in our database. We want to make sure, one, that anybody that looks for us finds us and finds that we are a 5-star realtor. Two, the people that know us, like us, and trust us use us. And three, make sure that those individuals are telling everybody that they know that they have to use you as their realtor. All right, next up is our partner update. We are going to throw it over to the mighty men of mortgage. I'm looking for Sean Hadley, Don Durecki, Chris Bullock.
Cool. Good morning, everybody. So what I was going to chat about today is the closing process. It's the final, obviously the final step in the process when they're signing their final closing documents. And I just want to make everybody aware that there's 3 different choices, 3 different ways a buyer can sign their documents. The traditional way, that's sitting down with a 1.5-inch stack thick of paper and signing the documents with the notary one-on-one. And most buyers kind of assume that's the closing and is always available. The second option is the hybrid, which I'll explain in just a second here. And then the third option is the RON, Remote Online Notary. So the Remote Online Notary, we don't run towards that one. It is often convenient, but there's a cost to it. I believe it's $175 or $200. We usually reserve that for someone who needs it, like, hey, we're traveling and out of town, or a COVID situation, or someone who just can't meet face to face. So what I want to chat about is that second one, the hybrid close, which I just put a flyer in the chat box. So the hybrid close is where the buyer sees 90% of their documents, or actually sees all of the documents online prior to the closing, and they can sign 90% of the documents with an e-signature. And the face-to-face is going to be a much shorter time. Only 10% of the documents need to be signed with ink and with the notary. And that meeting's going to fly through pretty quick because the buyer would have previewed those ahead of time. So this is something that's been available for a while. It's not right for everybody. That we have had situations where the person signs the face-to-face and then they forget to go back and e-sign, and we're scurrying to get things done. But we on the front end are going to educate the buyer and give them the option to opt in with this. So feel free to check out the flyer. But Don or Chris?
Quite frankly, there's not a whole lot to add to that. Essentially, the documents that they're going to be e-signing is anything that does not need to be notarized. It's that simple.
Yeah, and kind of stemming off of what Sean said, pretty much everybody is opting in for this. The people that I kind of advise not to, or maybe older folks, not so techie, if they struggle with the online app, we're probably going to recommend doing it the old-fashioned way. But for the most part, people love it.
Yeah,
That's all we got.
go ahead. Sorry, John.
Go ahead. That was it, Mike.
Yeah, I think guys, if you're working with anybody that's ever or bought or sold before, and they they're scheduling a massage and an ice bath for the wrist after signing all those documents, or as I like to say, autographing. This is just another little perk for for your people, and it's a small thing, but it's a value add. Gets them in, gets them out. We're living in a fast-paced world here. So, every little bit counts. So make sure your people know that. And certainly make sure they know, because you don't want them finding out at the closing table when they're halfway through that stack. All right, over to our friends at GM Title and Escrow. What's happening in the wild and wonderful world of recording deeds?
Yeah, it's so exciting, our business, huh? Title. Actually, Sean and I are on the same page, and we didn't even know it. I was going to chat about signings today as well. So we offer multiple different ways to sign documents. As some of you have probably seen, the remote online notarization has passed the House and is on to the Senate. So it might be allowed nationwide here in the coming months and years. It is allowed in Ohio. So when we have a cash deal, we give the sellers an option to sign with a remote online notary from the comfort of their home. They don't have to have a notary come to them in person. A lot of people prefer this. And it's definitely come in handy with COVID. If we have a seller who's COVID positive, we can sign them that way. Cash buyers, we sign with a notary if they choose in the office. Of course, anytime, anyone can sign in our office. Or they can sign via Adobe Sign, which is very convenient as well. Gives them all the instructions they need. Very easy to do, takes about 15 minutes for a cash buyer. Something I wanted to touch on today that we're finding more and more of a need for is bilingual notaries. That is something that we have: a Spanish-speaking notary, an Arabic-speaking notary. We have a ASL certified notary. So we are required to provide those services, but we kind of went ahead and sought out good notaries who are very experienced, who are also bilingual, to help our clients who are not, English is not their first language. We want to make sure that they're being served and served well. Additionally to that, the hybrid is just, we on our side love it, of course. Our notaries, working with cross country as closely as we do, our notaries love it. We love it. There's far less paperwork for us to process. There's far less paperwork for the parties to sign at the table with the notary. It takes a lot less time, and it's certainly more convenient. So if your clients are able to do that and choose that option, they typically end up being happier individuals at the table. So just a little, heads up there. But if you have clients who need any sort of special services, let me know. We also have a translation service that we've utilized in the past for clients who may need it. They can pretty much translate any document into any language. So if that's something that you ever find yourselves in need for, let me know.
Yeah, I will say just yesterday, an agent reached out to me and said, hey, listen, I've got this deal. I love working with GM Title, but I've got this deal and there are Spanish-speaking individuals on the other side. And all I'm hearing is that XYZ title company has Spanish-speaking agents or escrow officers or whatever it is. Do we have that at GM Title? I shot a quick text to that agent and Jade responded immediately. Yes, we do. We'll get that all squared away. GM Title gets the deal. Our agent gets to use their preferred title company. That deal closes the way that it should and inside of our network. The other thing that I'll say is that I've had two personal really good experiences with GM Title recently. There with a deal going sideways and a not using GM Title, the other team couldn't be bothered to close on time because they didn't have a mobile notary, and GM Title was able to come to the rescue there, and Jade herself sat in on and waited for paperwork to show up and be dealt with so that clients could be satisfied, not even on their deal. So I want everybody, we're going to get to a part in our shift series where we're going to talk about bulletproofing transactions. And you heard me say it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Keeping deals together, keeping deals alive, and getting deals to the finish line is the name of the game of growth in a shift. And if you have really strong partners that'll go above and beyond, like Tiffany and her team will, you will be able to do that. But for some of their efforts, there's a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor for a lot of our agents. So if you're ever in a pinch, just like I know Sean, Don, and Chris will do, even if you are not using GM Title, shame on you, Tiffany will do a consult and will help you get it done. So thank you very much for that, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Miss Gina is not able to join us today. Is Jess Ivans, not Jeff Ivans, is Jess on the line this morning? I don't think I see her. So no Jess this AM. And then before we jump into our Know Your Shift, I want to throw out a reminder, and it's going to go in the chat box. We have released clam bake tickets. You got some emails about it. You got some information about it. The first 50 tickets are discounted. There are about 10 left at the discounted price. These tickets will sell out. It's a great time. We have a ton of fun, raise a ton of money for KW Cares, and live music, dancing, all that fun stuff. Click the link in the chat right now. Get your ticket. Get your clients some tickets, get your friends and family some tickets, get a table. Let's have some fun. And we will see you guys end of September 30th, final Friday of the month. We will have our clam bake. Now has come the time for me to stop flapping my gums and turn it over to the talent. And so I'd like to bring to the main stage Mrs. Shoshana Socher, and she's going to talk to us about dominating the internet, which she does. You guys might remember her from such classes as Get the ICU Everywhere Effect, and other things that I can't currently remember, but she is a former Educator of the Year for our company, and a consistent presence on our training calendar, which we love. So thank you, Shoshana, for being a great example of our culture and always being willing to answer the call. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're going to talk about something that in the olden times used to be called internet leads.
The internet?
Internet? What is that so-called internet? And if I could get a screen share capability, that would be amazing. So as soon as I have screen share, I'll talk beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go like this, and let's share that. And then let's go like this. And then let me ask you, because I really have no clue right this second, are you seeing a good sized window of the book?
Yeah, looks good.
Awesome. So before we start, I'm going to actually, I'm sitting here in Beechwood. I want to give you a little tiny realtor hack. Whenever you're on a Zoom, go up to the 3 dots by your name. You can do it right this minute. I don't care if you're on a multi-state Zoom. I always put my name and my city so that other realtors can find me. But for today, what's really cool, you can go under those 3 dots. You could put your Instagram handle so people can find you. You can put, your specialty, whatever. You can change your name for every Zoom. And the cool thing is then other people who are like clicking around trying to see the people who are there can do different cool things with and for you. So anyway, that's my little hack there. So this is shift tactic number 6, catch people in your web. We're going to transform your business with digital lead conversion. I will use digital, internet, web, online, all of that interchangeably. And if you want to get technical with me, well, too bad, because I don't have the, I'm not getting that crazy. Okay, so let's go like this. I'm going to show you how to shift from chasing leads to having clients come to you through a few online lead generation tactics. Stay with me to the end. I do have a bonus for you. It's a 66-day social media challenge. It is platform agnostic, meaning you get to choose which platform you want to work on. I'm going to ask a favor. I'm only here for a really short time, meaning I won't bore you. I won't, take up a ton of your time. Turn off your distractions just for a minute. All close your extra windows just for a second. Close the door. Give yourself a minute to focus. Grab a pen and grab a piece of paper. I talk fast, and I want to not just be mindful of your time, but I just want to get the information out and then get everybody on their way to important things like listing homes. So I'm going to show you for a second about how I generate online leads and what that means to me. I very, very purposefully have my presence consistent across platforms. I'm saying the same headshot, the same words, the same address, the same phone number, the same, so that I'm just super consistent. If you look for me, it should be consistent. And I make a promise. That's number one. Number two is I make a promise to my ideal customer in my Instagram bio. I'm going to say this a few times over. I consider your Instagram bio your website today. Those 3 little lines of information are how people find you and what they read about you and know about you off the bat. Yes, the third thing I do is I work on my YouTube channel regularly. I'm not going to tell you it's all like super crazy fancy, but I do work on it, and I work on it very purposefully. And the fourth thing I do is I do utilize pay-per-click advertising. I use a platform called Brivity. I'm not an affiliate in any particular way, just letting you know what I do. I hate it when people have stuff that they do and then they've got this like behind the scenes thing that they don't really tell you about. So that's what I do here on our team. So, there's a few reasons why people come to classes like this. Okay. One reason is that you're motivated to have a strong digital presence to drive leads into your business. That's reason one. Reason two is you're excited about the use of social media in order to grow your client list. And reason three is that you're really ready to further your digital presence with video and direct messaging and PPC. And that's a really great reason to be here. You might want to kiss stress goodbye and have these things kind of like happen for you. So go in the chat and drop in whether you're 1, 2, or 3. Reason 1, you're motivated to have strong digital presence. Number 2, you're excited about the use of social media. Or 3, you're really ready to push it to the next level with video, direct messaging, PPC, etc. What you got? Mike's a 2, Cassandra's a 3, Tracy's a 3. Chris is a 1. Great. 1. Okay, good. 1. They're all good and they're all real. I mean, that's the thing, right? They're all very, very important reasons to be here. So what I would tell you is that, really whatever your motivation, I fully support you. And I hope to cover everything, a lot of 1s, interesting, and a lot of 3s. There's a lot going on out there in the digital world, is there not? I fully support you in your motivation for being here, and I hope to cover everything. And I've got my notebook so I can write questions down as well. A little bit about me. Abe and I have been married for 36 years. We're parents to 6 children ranging in age from 14 to 36. Our youngest has Down syndrome, and we totally are into her. I've been licensed for about 16 years. You might know my son, Kobe. He's my business partner. And we've had our licenses at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. I was trying to decide if it was 8 or 9 years. I couldn't really decide. So it is what it is. I love connecting on social media and, all the various platforms. So let's follow each other. Okay, let's see what else here. What do I want to tell you? So in 2021, my team sold 151 homes. That equaled $47 million in volume and a $314,000 average sale price. I say that not to be like, oh, braggy, braggy, but guess what? Like everybody, our units are down this year. So, you know, oh, so cool. In 2021, we did this. I will not. I'm really pushing for 2022 because units are down, volume is up, everything's a little bit, because guess what? Market's in a shift. Last year, I personally sold 45 homes. I say no to complicated stuff, and I to really consistent, purposeful follow-up. And my team will tell you that every single morning while we're lead generating, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm sitting here making sure that my leads are all followed up on, because the number of people we all lose is just kind of absurd. But with no further ado, let's really get into the material. Can you imagine what it would feel like if digital lead generation was a major pillar of your business? If you write down what your major pillars are, and people say 3 to 5, I find really about 3 is actually plenty. And the other ones are like bonus. If leads come in other ways, that's just a bonus. If digital lead generation, you decide to pursue this as a major pillar of your business, that's cool. It's just something to really focus on. So here's the roadmap for what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the 4 C's that will move you from random inquiries to ready customers. The 4 C's are: 1, capturing interested people. Number 2, connecting with them. Number 3, cultivating the relationship. And number 4, converting them to appointments or active clients, however you want to call that. But we all know that the end game is appointments. If you don't go on appointments, you really will have a hard time doing any business. Capturing is the first C. So let's go for that. To capture people, there are some really important preliminary steps. Anybody who wrote in number 1, focus here. Come back to me for just a second and focus. Even if you wrote 2 or 3, but if you wrote number 1 specifically, you must show up consistently across platforms. You absolutely must. You must be the same everywhere. You must be Google ready. If you Google yourself, which I know you probably haven't done in 5 minutes, does it come up with something that you did like 10 years ago, your previous career, you know, an article you wrote for the college newspaper, whatever, something like that? You must be Google ready. Now, I'm going to call it a couple names. This is one, which is, I don't know if people here know Chris Hicks. He's an agent in our brokerage. He does a lot of other things as well, so he's not as active in the brokerage. Chris, if you Google realtor in Richmond Heights, he comes right up in the top 3. And I've asked him, I'm like, Chris, how did you get that? He said, I don't know. I don't pay for advertising. So I'm like, okay, that's very cool. What you want when you Google your name or your business name is to come up on that left sidebar, right? So if you Google the Social Team, for instance, will come up with a really nice little do-jigger with your reviews and your information, your phone number, your hours, this and that. You want to be Google ready. You want that when people Google you, they're finding you, they're finding your reviews, your Zillow reviews, whatever, and you have to be super consistent. I want to see your same good headshot on your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your everything. I want to see the same thing, because people don't look at it and go like, oh, that's really what his hairline is. That's not it. It's just that consistency. They're used to seeing you almost your headshot behaves almost like an avatar. So they're just used to seeing the shape of you. That's Shoshana, that's Mike, that's, you know, I'm looking here, that's Art, that's Sean, whatever. We're just used to seeing that. That is crucial. The consistency is crucial. If you don't have this, if you are not consistent across platforms, and if you're not Google ready, don't even do the next step, but do this so that you can do the next step. Now, you could capture leads on a website, and websites, I need help, Riley, because Riley came to tell me something that I had to move slides, and I thought, guys, I was moving slides. Am I moving slides? Do you see that it says capture?
So sorry, yeah, you're moving now. I'm sorry, I thought you were just walking up to a big slide reveal. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sad. So those were not showing the whole time?
You were still you were just on your front slide.
Oh, why did nobody tell me? Guys, I had the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I have a whole slide presentation. Nobody told me anything. I have no friends in this world.
Just, you know what? Start over.
I'm not starting over, but I will start here. I will start here, which is this. We got the roadmap with the 4 C's, the capturing, the connecting, the cultivating, and the converting. And next time I'm ever on a slide presentation that doesn't move, you got to tell me, because friends help friends in Zooms. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying is that, let me go here, is that if you're not capturing leads super consistent, we have really an issue, right? Okay, so let's go like this. You could use a website to capture leads. You could blog, you could use pay-per-click advertising, and you could use search engine optimization. I know everybody, I have had people say like, well, you know, a website. Now, last time you went to Google something, did you care if it had a website? I bet you didn't. Interestingly, if you go to look for a store or a way to shop for something or anything anymore, you're actually not too concerned about their website. Now, the reason people have home websites is because what everybody likes to do is look at homes. People are literally laying in bed and scrolling through Zillow. And why do you think Zillow is sending you those crazy homes with like trees growing through them and, you know, dinosaurs, sculptures out front and whatever? Because they know that people just like to look at them and it keeps people attracted and on them. Everybody here has a Keller Williams website. You can use that website and you can use it with pay-per-click advertising, search engine optimization, et cetera, et cetera. People just like to do that to look at homes. Okay, are we better here? Do you see the one that says capturing leads?
Mhm.
Yes, good. Okay, you've got to be on Facebook. Facebook is the mothership of social media. You will capture leads on Facebook if you do the following. If you join hyper-local groups, that's to say the University Heights group, the Beechwood group, the Shaker Heights group, the Mentor group, the whatever. I have agents who aren't even moms on my team, and they're in the mommy groups in their various cities because they know that they can just pay attention to what's going on. Okay, so when you join a hyper-local group, I joined, for instance, the University Heights group. I friend everybody in the group. People say to me, oh, how do I know you? They message me and I say, oh, we don't. I'm a real estate agent in the area and I really like to stay on top of what's going on. I just tell them what it is, you know? And I have had a tremendous amount of business just from doing that. Be human, okay? It's not all about real estate all the time. So when you're posting, people like the vacations, people like, you know, fix-its or whatever, just different stuff. Facebook, I will tell you, to get yourself really out there at an advertising level is a pay-for-play environment. It used to be free. It is not free. I actually don't pay for anything on Facebook personally, but you could. I want everybody to know that it is a pay-for-play environment. And you need to go live. I call it live, push the live button, go live on your phone and just talk. Live as you walk down the street. Carol Joyner, if you're here, watch Carol Joyner walk down the street in a neighborhood, just talking and showing homes and stuff as she goes. It's so cool. It's what everybody likes. Okay, capturing leads on Instagram. As I said before, your bio matters. It absolutely 1 billion, zillion, quadrillion % matters what it says. You need to make a promise in your bio and then you need to stick to it. You can look at a few bios to understand, good ones to understand what I'm talking about. Then to capture leads, you got to comment more than you post. You need to go through the people that are your ideal client and you need to comment on their posts. Not like nice or pretty, but something purposeful, something good. Like if I saw Don Jarecki's post, I'd be like, Don, I can't believe you hit that par. That's so cool. Wait, you golf, right, Don? Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, but he doesn't make par. Let's be honest.
I don't even know what par is, so we're all good. And then post regularly, though. Do post regularly. Rip off and duplicate your posts. You don't have to come up with anything all that crazy original. Look what other people are doing that's successful and then recreate it for you. That's all you have to do. It's really not as hard as it sounds. Meanwhile, if you want to capture leads on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is really, really, really very professional, right? You want to share articles from the National Association of Realtors, et cetera, things like that. You want to share other people's posts. You want to be the authority in your niche. Can you believe what's happening in Gates Mills real estate today? Whatever, you want to be the authority, you want to be the go-to in your niche, and you want to continually validate other people's skills in that way that LinkedIn wants you to do, because yeah, that's part of being really present. And the more you give, the more you give, the more you give, the more you get. Now, TikTok. If you want to capture leads on TikTok, I recommend that you talk to Chris Case, because Chris has been incredible with her mascot and really, really coming up with something out the gate that she wanted to do that was like a one. Chris, if you're here, I know you're raising your hand and I hope you're smiling because this is the truth. You can niche until it bleeds on TikTok. There are those kids that have, 1 billion quadrillion views on their thing, and you've never heard of them. I mean, it's okay, right? Like you go on, America's Got Talent or whatever, and there's some kids like, we had 30 million views on our act. And you're like, who are you? Okay, that's okay, because that's the way it is. Niche and talk to Chris. That's my preach for TikTok. Okay, on that note, connecting. Those who wrote the second C, you want to connect, who wrote that they wanted to learn more about social media and online lead generation. Let me tell you something. When you get a lead online, you must have insane speed to lead. You must connect in under 5 minutes. If the person is registering on your site or going on your Instagram or messaging you through Facebook or connecting with you through ZTR, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, whatever, one of those things, they are registering on every site. They're registering in lots of places. And unless you're on them, they're off. They're gone. They're goodbye. You might as well say goodbye. If you're like, oh, I connected within a day, it's too late. You have to have intense speed to lead with online leads, in my experience. Also, I want to say before I say this slide, which is that online leads are a long time out. People are looking at homes now thinking they're going to move to Cleveland next spring. That's okay. As long as you enter them in your database and you followed MicroPasky's rules from last week in Ignite, then you're okay, because you got them and you know how to follow up with them. So what do? You call them 3 times, 1, 2, 3. The third time you leave a voicemail. Okay. Now, this is if you have a phone number. I know you're thinking you might not have a phone number, so just hold on. Make sure you know your scripts. Here's a pro tip. Mike, I'm calling you, so unmute, please. Ring.
Hello, this is Mike.
Hey, Mike, this is Shoshana with Keller Williams. I noticed you just logged into my website, and I wanted to find out if there's a home you'd like to go see.
I don't know if I want to make the trip right now. I'm just kind of exploring.
Okay, great. Pause. So thank you so much. So the point is, I didn't say, now I know he said this is Mike, but I didn't say, is this Mike? It's a very common thing when you're calling somebody you don't know, and you have to think of the old fashioned days, when the phone didn't tell you every single piece of information right here. I mean, what are you holding up an old fashioned Holmes handset? Hello, is this Mike? Like, don't ask the question, just talk. Hi, this is, in a very short intro. Hi, this is Shoshana, your local real estate agent. Do you want to see this house? Whatever, something like that. Because when we have a super long intro, that gets a goodbye. And if we say, is this Mike? No, this isn't Mike. Because, nope. Okay, text. Yeah, obviously, but text your leads if you have a phone number. Email, if you have an email, that's a good one. And connect on social media, DM. I've gotten lots and lots and lots of business through DM. Again, I see somebody post on one of the hyper local groups. I'm looking for boxes, or I'm, exploring job opportunities in Timbuktu. Then I'm just on them right away. Oh, are you looking for a real estate agent? Like that. It's kind of like a little side thing. They didn't say, where's a real estate agent? I'm just paying attention to that. To connect with your leads on YouTube, guess what? YouTube is not social media. YouTube is a search engine. It's a search engine that anybody can master. I have not quite mastered it yet. I searched myself yesterday for this class, actually, and I saw that my videos are in the top bunch, but they're not at the top. So of course, I want to be number 1. So I gotta work on that. But YouTube is a really beast to tackle. But the cool thing about YouTube leads, if you go with the YouTube method, is that the leads think they know you already. I mean, it's craziness, right? Because people call me all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, I've been watching your video. I'm like, okay, cool. So, but that's neat because they really think they know you and you have a lot less establishing authority because they already know you. Okay, so if you're connecting on social media, you must show up a lot. You must use video, have your face. I don't care what you look like. Nobody cares what you look like. Turn on the camera and talk. I don't care about your lipstick, your hair, your clothing, just talk to the camera. You are prettier, handsomer, better looking, whatever than, 95% of the people out there, nobody's even looking. I mean, literally nobody's looking at what you look like. You need to show up as the authority in your niche in order to master the, the connection with the people. And I really will say that even though I didn't do this, I do sort of wish I had just learned one platform at a time. There are those that only do one platform and they get super big and then they move to another platform. Then when they're big on that platform, they move to another platform. Do not feel like you have to master every single thing at once. Consider going on one thing and getting really, really, really good at it. I'm going to tell you another little thing, a little trick here. Social media is not innate. Don't tell me, oh, it's young people and I'm old, or I'm young and they're old and whatever. It is a learned skill like anything else. And there are classes, free and not free. There are websites and blogs and millions of different things. It is a learned skill that you can learn to do too. So don't say that it's not something that you know or is not age appropriate for you. The third C, leads have come in. Let's talk about cultivating them, because the entire point of this whole darn thing is growing your list. And when I say your list, I mean an email list, okay? What you're doing every single time you talk to somebody is, may I have your email? May I, can we communicate via email? Do you check your email? That's like, if I'm talking to somebody who has just come in, I often say, do you check your email? And they go, yeah, of course. And I say, great, what is it so that I can keep you on my list? And then you're working to grow your list. The bigger your list, and more accurate your list, the more you're able to communicate and cultivate the leads. To cultivate them, you need to provide value. This is not an ask. You're providing market analyses, home care home care lists, I don't know, whatever, bucket lists, seasonal items, all kind of mortgage rates, anything that matters in our world, staging tips, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll tell you, email marketing is way far from dead, way, way, way far from dead. If you do nothing other than grow your email list and communicate with it very, very regularly, you will be golden and business will come to you. So while you're cultivating, you've got to keep commenting on the other people's posts. You're creating this email list, you're doing that. You got to, oh my God, I got to comment all the time. Comment. DTD2. If you don't know what the DTD2 is, post in the office Facebook group. Somebody will link us to it. And there's many, many, many ways to use that list. I use that list actually not so much for calling. I use it a little bit for calling, but I use that segmentation for my commenting on social media. So if this week is A, let's just say, and B, then I'm going through people that I follow on A and B, and I'm making sure I'm commenting on their posts. That's how I just remember to do it. There's a lot of different ways. You could email those segments. You could just do a lot of different things, I feel like, because it's already segmented for us. It's so nice. And then the other thing about cultivating your leads is just be yourself. Be yourself. Don't be some robot. Don't be somebody else. You don't need to be, when I first started out, I was like, oh, I have to be an influencer. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I do not have to be an influencer. I have to be Shoshana selling houses in Beechwood because that's what I do. And so that's more important to me and to shine in those areas. So be yourself in all of this. And our last C is converting. And this is really almost like the smallest slide piece, but I would say the biggest important thing. So come back to me. If you lost focus, come back to me for just 2 more minutes here. Converting your leads is like this. You've waited and waited and waited. and you finally have somebody, set an appointment. Set an appointment. The point is not calling, emailing, social media. The point is not all of this just in and of itself. The point is to have somebody to talk to set an appointment with. Set an appointment, and you get an appointment, convert that lead in the appointment to your actual client. And it just feels so, so, so amazing. So if you like how that worked, rinse and repeat. It's really pretty straightforward that way. So that's what I would say about converting your leads. So I have the bonus here for everybody who's stuck around. And all you have to do is ShoshanaSocher.com/66. I'll link it right here. I think if I can link it, Shoshana, it's kind of a link, Socher.com/66. And it's not really a link, you have to copy paste. And what it is platform agnostic social media habit tracker for 66 days with one little tiny thing to do each day to increase your use of social media. You'll see how it behaves. It's pretty amazing. I can't say that I created it. Riley on our team created it. Shout out Riley, thank you. That was very, very helpful. So stop for a second here. I want a couple of people to unmute and tell me some takeaways and some questions. And watch out, because if you don't, I'm going to call on you.
Consistency.
Consistency, I like that. Tell me more.
Just like lead gen, you have to show up every day on social media. Make sure that our headshots, our bios, everything is always the same. Goal is that when we get Googled, we would like to show up in the list that first comes up, linked to being a Keller Williams real estate agent and the areas we want to be known as an expert.
Beautiful. Thanks, Paul. Who else? Watch out. I'm going to call on you. If we haven't met, you should unmute and tell me something. Ramondo, you commented. Tell us something that you learned.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ramondo Muhammad. I took notes. I actually wrote down things. I actually learned a lot because I don't really have a huge social media presence. So this has motivated me to increase that social media presence on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at some point. So this was very useful to me.
Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it.
All right. You know what I found interesting, Shoshana, is that breakdown you had. Now you want to be consistent in the way that you show up across platforms, but you want to do the right thing on the right platform. If if Chris Case puts the happy house on LinkedIn, it doesn't fit, right? And so knowing that, Facebook is where I show my real life, LinkedIn's where I show my professional life, TikTok's where I show my fun, cheeky life, right? But you're still the same person. You still have the same bio. You still have the same information. You still have the same headshot. That consistency is there, but knowing why folks are going to each one of these sites. People go to Facebook as voyeurs, right? They want to see what other people are doing and what they have going on. People go to LinkedIn to brag about themselves. People go to TikTok to have a few giggles, right? And so what are you providing people what they came for? If so, you'll get the likes and follows.
Right. It is really interesting. I mean, it's very interesting how to be yourself on each platform. And, I know people, I have a realtor friend in another state. She only uses LinkedIn, only, period. She doesn't want any other platform. She has her headshot on there, but she's really purposeful about it. And that's how she's grown her business. She really loves it. So, it just depends on what you're into.
Yeah, I think it's so like so many other lead generation or scheduling or task management things, like which one works, whichever one you're going to commit to.
You got it. Exactly. So before we wrap, any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
This Ramondo again. what would you recommend a brand new agent to do to get his or her name out there as quickly and consistently as possible?
Are you part of anything like a hiking group, a sports club, a dog group, a dog owners group, a parents group, a church, not a church, sorry, your last name, Mohammed, a mosque, a foodie group? Are you part of any groups?
Yes, a few, yes.
Okay, so literally, I would do nothing other than go to the groups, figure out who's in them. Make sure you follow every single one of those people. And then comment, and somehow you'll have to always work it in that you're the local real estate agent.
I see. I'll
So
definitely
Mohammed,
do
it's
that.
I mean, Ramondo, it's so nice to meet you today. Before we go, can I just ask you, where do you live?
I live in Cleveland Heights.
You live in Cleveland Heights, cool. Oh my gosh, I just saw that there was a house for sale over on, actually, we just closed on a house over in Bendemeer. It was like this funny little story of getting the keys, but yeah, oh, whatever, so whatever, I'm just saying like the conversations can be like that,
Okay.
And then the other thing, I'll tell you something that I've been preaching a lot is perfecting your elevator pitch. Meaning that what's the thing that people, when, the first question is, what's your name, Ramondo? The second question is, what do you do? Like, so you have something to say. I sell residential real estate.
Right. And I've just begun to do that.
Yeah, just say it straight out, man. There's all those flowery things. Oh, like I help people achieve the American dream. I'm like, okay, you know what? I sell residential real estate. That's what I do. That's what it's
right. Plain and simple.
Yeah, you know what else funny? I also, all the time I say, if people from out of town, I go, it's just like HGTV, only not as sexy because it's Cleveland. And then they laugh.
Right. Sorry, y'all, I'm at work, so I look kind of crazy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. This has been a very interesting meeting. I'm busy a lot, but I'll do my best to attend more sales meetings. I'm very excited to be a part of Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. I got to say, number one reason that I picked Keller Williams was because of the extensive training.
I love the trainings here. I go to them all the time.
Yes. So
Love
I
it.
plan on attending more of them.
Mike, back at you.
All right. Hey, listen, thank you all for being here today. Shoshana, big thank you to you for, as Shoshana and I caught up over the weekend about, if you read The Shift, it's the only part that hasn't aged well was the internet as it relates to real estate was just becoming a thing in 2010, if you can believe it. And I got to tell you, we should submit that deck that you just did to KWRI for some updates. I mean, that was really, really awesome and hits right at the heart of what we're all currently doing or could start doing tomorrow. So Shoshana, as always, you bring the heat and we love it. Thank you so much. Gang, thank you for being here today. We will have our next tactic in The Shift, a super important one next week about pricing the homes to sell. So if you're looking for tips and scripts and everything in between on how to get your sellers to sell at the price the market will bring instead of what the one from 6 months ago would, you're going to want to tune in next week. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.